Welcome, everyone, to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name, and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Isaac, it has been a minute. What happened?
Your computer freaking hates you.
That's true. I got a new computer to make the podcast process easier and smoother for all of us here. Uh, Not so, as it turned out the RAM sticks was malfunctioning and it was crashing every 20 minutes, which made the process a lot harder. But I got a replacement computer. We're all good now. The Cinema Regulars channel is going to be smooth from here on out. Fingers crossed. So
Yeah.
today we are starting our backlog because even though we stopped uploading for about 2 months, that doesn't mean we stopped going to the movies. What are you, crazy?
Oh, absolutely not.
So
We're
we
something
got
of a cinema
we're
regulars,
something of a
if you will.
cinema regulars myself. We have 3 podcasts that we have to bang out. So let's get into it. The first one, we are looking at our 3 movies for today. We have Black Bag, a new spy thriller movie coming out. I mean, it already came out. It probably already left. It's not a
It's
theaters
already out
anymore.
of
It's
theaters.
already out of theaters. We are tardy to the party, but that's not my fault. Following up, we
It is.
have the Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega A24 movie, Death of a Unicorn. And then we'll be wrapping it all up at the
Rapiding.
end. We'll be wrapping it up at the end with the newest Finn Wolfhard, not only starring but also writing and I believe directing Hell of a Summer. His very own slasher
Yeah,
movie.
he is.
He and
He
his
is
friend,
definitely the director. I know
yeah,
that.
he and his friend co-wrote, co-directed, and co-starred in this movie, this little slasher
Yeah.
flick. So it's interesting to dive deeper into that. As always, guys, be sure to subscribe because it really helps us out. And feel free to use the timestamps below in the description to skip around to your favorite movie or just jump straight to the rankings if that's all you care about. And now, without further ado, we will jump into our first movie of the night, Black Bag. Isaac, please take us away with the description.
When his beloved wife Catherine is suspected of betraying the nation, intelligence agent George Woodhouse faces the ultimate test: loyalty to his marriage or his country. So this is, I believe, the second Steven Soderbergh movie we've seen already this year.
What was the first one?
Presence.
Oh, that was him too.
Yeah,
I don't.
he's a really good. He's a really good. He's a really good like director.
Yeah, I don't wanna spoil the end of year top 10, bottom 10 for 2025, but as of standing right now, Presence is currently at my number 2 spot for best movie of the year. So
Oh no,
I just
that movie was immaculate. That movie was great. Steven Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh's the one who wrote all the Ocean's movies, not
oh
the
was
woman
he?
one.
Not the one, not that one, not that one.
At least I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he didn't. Nah, he
I
wouldn't
gotta
touch that one.
I gotta say the biggest compliment I can give to this movie, like the spot where it was at its best, was the writing. I think well, I personally think that it was a lacking in a lot of like the interest and action and like just retaining focus really. Cause I mean, but that might just be my you know
Well, we did watch this at the end of a very dense day, I think.
yeah. There's
If I
not a
remember
whole
correctly.
lot
Was this
like
our sixth movie day?
yeah. It's not very fast paced, high action. It's very like subdued, like espionage,
Which was
spying on each other kind of
perfect.
thing, rather than like your Mission Impossible spy movie. It's more like a find out what they're doing without getting caught kind of spy movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like the tone of the movie and the pacing of the movie mimic the demeanor of the main character.
Yeah,
Cuz like his whole thing is he's very calm and collected through the whole movie. He doesn't really get like upset or like outraged, which
yeah,
is really cool because he's a very good contrast to all the other characters in this movie because like him and his wife are both very like they're very composed and calm and calculating through the whole movie. So the rest of
Meanwhile,
the cast is very explosive and
meanwhile, the opening scene when they're at like the little dinner party, or whatever,
oh
and the
yeah.
lady grabs a knife and just stabs it through her boyfriend's hand.
And he doesn't flinch. That was the
Yeah, he didn't
coolest
flinch.
part. Is he just like, "Oh yeah, this is happening. Great."
I mean, to be fair, they were all drugged intentionally by the
True.
hosts.
Yeah, but that was just like a truth serum. Like
I mean, if that's
but
if that's the
anyway,
truth.
so basically the whole point of this movie is there's like uh if I remember correctly, it's like some sort of like nuclear warhead, like nuclear codes or something like that.
I think so.
It's something to that effect where it will allow them to like launch nukes at Moscow or like fucking blow up Moscow or whatever and like cripple Russia and shit like that. I don't remember
It
exactly
was something like
what
that.
the whole thing was, but
Doesn't
that's
matter.
not
The
even that's not
MacGuffin.
even point. It doesn't matter. The MacGuffin doesn't matter because the writing in this movie is immaculate. It is so good because like there's a scene in the movie where he is polygraphing everyone
Mm-hmm.
and the
Oh
questions he's
yeah.
asking and they're just like he's asking mostly the same questions to everyone and every once in a while it'll cut back to him and he'll ask a question and it'll cut back and it's someone different answering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was very like well shot. That was a good scene, and I think that did very well. Um, the one thing I gotta say, out of the three Kate Blanchett movies that we've covered on this podcast, this is probably her strongest role. I'm just gonna say.
I'm blanking on the third.
Rumors.
Fuck, she was in that, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah, she was.
I forgot about that.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
You're right. Shit, you right.
I forgot about you. I forgot about rumors. The whole movie. Just put it out of your.
I forgot that movie existed.
You just put it out of your giant man-sized brain.
In my head, there's a bunch of drawers, and that movie is marked in the junk drawer.
It's got like the best joke out of any movie we saw that year, though.
It did.
That was the best. That was the best. That was joke of the year. That was joke of the year. I gotta
Forget.
say. I'm not. I'm not. We're not gonna go back into that again. But I'm just saying.
Oh, it's such a good joke, though. It was so funny. But anyway,
But
yeah,
I mean,
no.
it's like she's a decent actor when she's used to like her advantages and used properly. You know what I mean?
He's
It's like
very
it's
good
like
in like a stoic role where
well,
she has to
it's
be
just
kind
a
of like
role taken seriously. She's not like a comedy person really.
yeah.
And they kept using her for that and it just kind of wasn't working. Like she was very good in this. She was very believable to be, calm, collected and serious the whole time. That seems to be more her speed. Um and she's a good actress. She should be doing more roles like that and not roles like, you know, 40-year-old Lilith. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like it's just yeah, she definitely has a niche that she fits really well in. Like she works really well. Like she's in Lord of the Rings. She worked really well as Hela in Thor Ragnarok. I
Yeah.
thought she played that role very, very well. Like
I thought that was Melissa
she
McCarthy
works
was Hella.
yeah,
I hate Marvel, dude.
but she's like when she's used correctly, she is very good. She
Yeah, she
can
just
take
needs to be
that
used
serious role.
correctly.
She just needs to have that serious role.
Yeah. And Michael Fassbender did a great job as well. Like I did not like him at all in like the Alien movies that he was in, but his performance in this movie was phenomenal. It was like probably the one of the best out of everyone there.
Oh yeah, I really like I've been a fan of Michael Fassbender, even though I know you are not a fan of these movies. he was a great Magneto. He was a really good
Okay,
Magneto.
I need to preface. I need to change your accusation here. It's not that I'm not a fan of those movies. It's that I've never seen them.
Have you actually never watched? Me and you are watching them
You
at
and
some point.
me-
I'm going to make you watch X-Men First
You
Class.
and me watched. I've seen X-Men First Class. I got pissed as fuck when Darwin died.
Okay, true. You are correct.
You and I, like, the first movie you and I saw together was Days of Future Past, but that was like when we were in like, what was that? Our last day of middle school, like last year. Of middle school or
No.
we when it whatever.
No,
year
because it was
that
me.
came
Because
out,
it was
like,
me.
You and me went and
What
saw
was
it?
it?
I don't
Me?
fucking know what.
It was.
When
No, it was me,
It
you,
doesn't-
and some other people.
No, it was just you and me.
I don't remember who
Your
it was.
mom dropped us off, left us there, and then she picked us up.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but no, he is a good Magneto. He was a fucking like I've been a fan of that dude ever since.
Yeah, he's a decent
He
actor.
does
Just
a-
needs to be given good content.
I've never really seen him in a bad role. I don't think.
The Alien movies. This is bad. It was bad.
Well, the
Prometheus.
movies were.
Fucking.
the movie was
Alien,
bad.
Alien Covenant.
The movie was bad. I don't think he was a bad part of that movie.
I think the 5-minute gay self-incest, flute lessons scenes was pretty bad.
Yeah, but that's the writer's fault, not his.
Well, he was the only one in the room, and I wasn't enjoying anything he was doing, so I'm just telling you.
What did you want him to do? Turn down money?
Yes. Have
Okay.
decency.
Fair enough.
Look at a script and say, ew, no.
That
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. We need more actors to do that. We need more actors to look at the script and say, ew, no.
Yeah. But but besides that, no. All the characters were just really, really well written in this. Like, each one had their own, like, personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Though I could have done, like, there's nothing wasted in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, none of the characters are unimportant. Because you have the one, because the whole reason why he's like why he's talking to all these people is that the trailer makes it seem like, oh, they think his wife stole it, and it's like, no, she's just one of like 5 possible people that did it.
Yeah, and then it starts to narrow it down to her, and then there's evidence saying it might not be, and he's just doing his due diligence. So like, even if it is her, he still has to even if it's not her, he's still gotta like do his job and investigate her to his best ability. But
each
I get what
person
you're saying,
serves
that,
the
like,
purpose in that.
Yeah, it used its time very well. I don't think any like scenes were like throwaway scenes. I think they were all pretty much necessary, because they have another like sit down at the end where they bring all the characters back, and they do like a sort of like a last reveal. You get to make a comment.
It's almost like
this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like the end of a freaking like Agatha Christie novel or something.
The
where
one
it's just
that
like
came to mind for me was Adam Sandler's murder mystery movies on Netflix, where they all just convene together at the end and they say, okay, here's what happened, here's who's at fault, and they kind of just laid everything out for you and do that. And I like scenes like that because it really puts things into perspective.
I've actually never seen that.
They're pretty good. They're pretty decent, entertaining, not bad.
No, like I thought of a scene that like there's the only reason I came up with Agatha Christie is because I've been rewatching Doctor Who, and there's the episode where they go meet Agatha Christie, and like the end of the episode is just like, you will go to you, and then this, and then you. You actually have nothing to do with this, but
and this movie had one of those too. I always like that. Is that hey, congrats! You had absolutely jack shit to do with any of this, and I'm sorry you're even here. But
you are literally the only innocent person in this.
I got nothing.
What's even better, but that's the best part, is that that character was like meant to be a red herring.
It's got that energy. It's like fuck you, You were cool. And fuck you. You're a good
Yeah,
hang.
but but no, like it was really cool. Like I think it did a very good job of, you know, displaying espionage in a very nuanced manner that isn't really done anymore.
Yeah, most spy movies are really like blown up in the action proportion when you think of like, 007 or Mission Impossible. It's all like
Mission
high
Impossible.
action, and this
Or
was
even
more like research, lies, truth, espionage.
people, you know what? I think Hollywood has gotten to a point where it is confusing spies and mercenaries.
Well,
Cause usually a mercenary is what is the type of person that like gets in those like the big action stuff. They're the ones doing the dirty work. Where spies are a lot more like it's a lot more behind the scenes stuff.
I mean, typically they wouldn't be mercenaries. They would be, special operations. They wouldn't just hire Deathstroke to go take care
There,
of
that's a
government
better comparison.
secrets.
That's a, that's a better comparison. They're confusing spy work with special ops.
Yeah.
That's a better comparison. Because let's be honest, Ethan Hunt, yeah, he has all the gadgets and the disguises and everything. He's absolutely a special ops guy.
Yeah.
Like,
You get to play as him in Black Ops 6. That's not true. Um, fuck, there was one more thing I was gonna say about this. Um, nope, it's gone. Oh, yeah. I
it's
remember.
gone.
I remember. The best thing to come out of this movie, though, by far, is just the addition to our lexicon. Instead of just saying, like, I can't tell you that yet. I'll just be like, hey, black bag.
Yeah, that's a really
Isaac
cool
a-
thing though. Like,
Isaac
you
asking
never
about
think
my
about
Isaac asking about my mac and cheese recipe. Black bag.
asking about when I ask a question about your freaking book series.
Yeah.
Is just that you can't tell me anything about yet.
Yeah. So is this gonna happen to? Hey, black bag.
I like it though because it's really cool because like that's another thing this movie does that isn't portrayed a lot in media is spies in a relationship. Like,
Well,
let me rephrase that: spies in a relationship that both know that each other are spies.
yeah.
Like usually it's like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing, or hell even Spy Kids. Like like
Hey, it's not a spy. He's not cool enough.
yeah. Like it but it's
You keep
calm down.
banging the table, dude.
I do. But but no, it shines a light, not really shines a light. It just kind of portrays a spy couple in a way I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, because if you
Where
really,
it's like, of course, there's things they can't know about each
right,
other.
it's just like, hey, it's like when you like go to. It's like if you went to another Quick Trip and you just be like, hey, I know, okay,
Yeah.
like all the insight that I know. It's like every time I go to a Baskin Robbins, I'll just be like, hey, man, I know, okay, I used to work here.
Yeah.
I know how it is.
It's like yeah, I know. I know the spiel you have to give
I
me.
know the
Like
spiel,
I know
yeah.
yeah, I know.
I know the secret.
Yeah, but it's
I know that you still got a gallon of wild and reckless sherbet back there that you hiding from the public. Everybody does. Bring it out. But you know what I mean? Because like,
but not
they have to keeping secrets is their job. So each of them would
yes.
have to know that like, sorry, like, I can't tell you, and I can't tell you because there's shit you can't tell me. You know the deal.
Exactly.
Because you're.
That's why I like
you
the
signed
moment where
same contract I did.
well, that's the other thing that's really nice is that it's like they are dedicated to their job, but they're also devoted to each other,
Right.
and that's a really cool. It's cool to also see that it portrayed the difference between dedication and devotion
Mm-hmm.
because it's very well portrayed in this because you know he will absolutely put his wife first.
Yeah.
Like he's doing everything in his power to try and prove that it isn't her. And even if he can't, he's like setting up these moves to try and protect her as
Right.
well.
Right.
Like
Because he
it's
was when he was researching, like he was like, even when it was pointing to her, he was still kind of on his guard about it. Like you could tell that he
yeah.
was gonna be on his job's side until until it would be confirmed to be her. And if it is confirmed
Yeah.
to be her, he's gonna turn around on him real bad. He's gonna be like, "I'm with her."
Yeah.
Like I'll
Yeah,
I'll
it
I'll
was it
look into her for your sake, but she over you. So if it turns out that she is responsible, I'm siding
yeah.
with her. Sorry, but it wasn't her. It wasn't her.
No.
I will
No,
keep. We'll keep
this
that
movie was
secret.
just very well written and very like I found myself getting not what I expected, but I was also gripped through the whole movie as well.
Yeah,
Like I at least was following along,
yeah. It was written
which
very
was
smart.
very well.
Yeah, that's another thing for me is that like,
You only
like
had like one question at the end of this.
yeah, and it was just a thing like, cause there was a movie ticket, at my specialty. There was a movie ticket in the wastebasket, and he was like suspicious about that, and he started like looking into her and questioning her around and that. And at the end of the movie, I was like, it was obviously planted there. It wasn't hers, and I
Yeah.
was like,
They confirmed that in the movie
yeah,
that
they
it was
confirmed
planted there.
it was a plant, an industry plant, if you will.
An
And
industry
at the
plant.
end, they didn't like address it, so I was like, so what was the movie ticket for? Like, what did that have to do with anything?
It was
And
literally
then
just to throw more suspicion on her. That's
it
all
was
it
yeah, it
was.
was literally just like that's weird. So it was like to like mentally open up like suspicion.
Yeah. My favorite sentence I have ever heard is that doubt is not a flower, doubt's a weed.
Yeah,
You don't need to sit there and water it. You just plant a seed of doubt and it will just grow no matter
exactly,
what.
exactly. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
like a code or like it was
Yeah.
something. Or and I was like, so what the? But yeah, that makes total
Yeah.
sense. I just need brief clarity. But other
But
than
yeah,
that,
so I don't
I was surprised at how well I was following along with this because that tends to be a problem with
yeah.
more convoluted like spy movies and mystery movies and whodunits and
Yeah.
stuff. Is because it's like Conroy is dead, and I'm like, who? The guy from
Yeah.
8 scenes ago, and I'm like, I wasn't counting the scenes. What do you mean? But like, no,
Yeah,
this
the
time I was
movie had a very narrow focus.
yeah, I was actually following along pretty closely, which is rare. Um,
Yeah.
but
So I don't really think I have anything else to say about this. I think we'd be pretty good to move on into the
we
rankings.
are good to go on into the rankings. I'm gonna go first here. I'm gonna give this a pretty you know what, fairly low 7 out of 10. You know, this was very well written, very smartly written, and even though there wasn't a whole lot of acting like above and beyond, like any like great scenes that come to mind very much, or any like high paced action or anything, I don't think it really needed it. You know what? I think it was a very smart and well written film.
I'm actually giving this movie a pretty solid 8 out of 10. Actually, I found myself really enjoying this movie. It was like I keep saying, it was written very very well, and I found myself constantly being surprised by how like gripped I actually was. Like I was catching myself being like, I haven't breathed in like a minute.
Yeah,
Like because I like my
I had to give you CPR
Kellen
mid theater.
he had to give me a tracheotomy halfway through the movie.
It's
It
true.
was
Good thing I
like,
had that pen on me, and I just, you know.
but like it's one of those things where it's like I realized, wow, I've been thinking so hard on what's happening right now that my body just shut everything else down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I caught it and I was like, oh dang, wow, okay.
Bro's committed to
No,
the
it was
focus.
quite well. Plus, again, I really like Michael Fassbender.
Mm-hmm. That things. Cool. All right. Moving on to our next movie of the night, we have A24's Death of a Unicorn. Isaac, take her away, please.
A weekend retreat has deadly consequences when a father and daughter accidentally hit and kill a unicorn while en route to find his billionaire boss, who seeks to exploit the creature's miraculous curative properties.
All right, I'll say it. This movie stunk. I did not care for Death of a Unicorn.
I did not care
I-
for Death of a Unicorn.
I thank the Lord for Will Poulter making this movie tolerable. He was the best part.
Real.
He was
The only good part of this movie.
There was another good part.
Okay, fair.
I'll be fair. There was some good parts, but I was not fully enjoying myself here. I'll start off with the positives because once I get into the negatives, we won't be coming back up. Okay. Will Poulter, always a good time. He's a phenomenal actor. Love seeing him on screen. Can't wait to see him on screen in future movies as well. This man,
Dude's in talks to be Adam Strange in the DC universe.
bro,
That's
Adam Strange.
fucking cool.
That could be
That would
Will
be
Poulter
so-
in a few years. Insane.
That would be so sick.
Here's the thing, okay? He was the only one who was funny. Okay?
He was the only one who was actually funny. Yeah.
He dominated the role he was given, and he said, "I'm just gonna give it my absolute all," and he gave it his absolute
Spoiled
all.
rich kid.
Right, but he was
Like, he
funny
did it-
with it. He wasn't just like
Yeah. He was great with
He
it.
wasn't just like a dumb, stupid, spoiled rich kid. Like he had like complexities to the humor, the comedy. Like there was some things was just
I like
it was
I like
just
all the
him.
moments where he's like
He was the one who brought
like-
who brought this to light here.
I like the moment where he's like, because he's like seeing all these opportunities, and like there's the moment where he's in the hot tub,
Yeah.
and Paul Rudd's character comes out. He's like, "Hey, you wanna come in? You want some of this?" And he's like, and he yells for the butler. I can't even remember the butler's name, but he's
Griff?
like, "Oh, Griff, right?" He's like, "Griff!" Just yelling, just like. Just hey, we need some towels. And he's like, I don't need a towel. He's like, Griff, never mind. Like, it was really funny. Also, I totally forgot about the guy's name, but shout out Griff. I actually liked his character. He was the only other character that I thought was
because
good.
bro did nothing wrong.
Yeah, he's played by Anthony Carrigan, which I've only ever seen him in one other thing, but at least that I can remember. I think he's been in more stuff, but he's a really good actor. He played Kyle Nimbus, aka The Mist in The Flash. And
well, as it turns out, that's not going to be his last DC role, Isaac, because this man will be appearing in Superman Legacy as it comes out. Is it still called Legacy?
Oh,
or did they
really?
drop that? Is it just called Superman?
I think it's just called Superman.
He's in the Superman movie.
Oh, really? What is he gonna be? I know. I want to look this up.
Dude, bro is Metamorpho.
Oh,
Hell yeah, bro's Metamorpho.
yeah. He's just credited as Rex Mason.
Yeah, that's Metamorpho.
But I'm assuming that's Metamorpho. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really sick, dude. I cannot stress just like how fucking exciting it is. Like the sheer level of excitement for this movie is, oh my gosh. I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
And the fact that he's listed as Rex instead of Metamorpho leads me to believe that we might be seeing an origin story in this movie. Like we'll see him become Metamorpho.
That would be really cool.
Kind of cool. Anyways.
oh, interesting.
Movie itself.
What's up? Movie itself, yeah. Sorry, we'll talk more about that later. But no. Other positives about this movie. While it didn't look too great at all the time, I was actually shocked at how much we saw of the unicorns in
Yeah,
the movie. I thought it would just be a lot of hooves and
yeah.
like horns poking through stuff. But like no, we got good looks at them. And honestly, I like I I will say I like a good mythical creature that's seen as this pure good thing but has a dark side. Like I always liked that kind of thing where it's like, oh, unicorn. It's a gentle creature, very very pure creature. But it can also fucking rip you limb from limb.
Isaac enjoys good things
Like,
being corrupted into evil. Interesting.
nope, that's not what it is.
That's exactly what you just said. Guys, back me up. He's lying. Not only to me,
uh
not only to you, but also to himself. And Isaac,
but
this is actually
the
a
other
good
scene
moment.
I really the other scene I really liked was the night vision. See where they're looking through the night vision,
Yeah.
and then you see like the unicorn running at him and everything. That was the other cool thing. All of like the deaths, while they didn't like look too terribly good,
They were
they
all
were
right. They were decent.
they were all right. They were like, oh my gosh,
It was
like
it was
uh,
impactful
they were
though.
pretty brutal.
Yeah.
They were very brutal.
That was the other thing I was gonna bring up too, is that I liked a lot of the kills. At the very least, there was people getting just gored through the face with the horn. There was two unicorns. They just ripped a lady in half and then just chucked her corpse halves into the grass. Like it was
Yeah.
like there was some. They got pretty fucking crazy with some of the kills, and they weren't bad at all. Even Will
No.
Poulter's kill was pretty good, getting just fucking
Oh my gosh,
hoofed to the
dude, he just
face
got.
and launched across the concrete.
Oh, that was. Dude, oh my gosh. Also, last guy, like, he was the last bad guy standing.
Well, yeah, because
Like,
he was the one who needed the most screen time. Otherwise, people would riot.
true. True. I also like
Anybody
that
want to
half the
see?
movie he was just like, I'm gonna just use this to get high.
Isaac,
Yeah, I'm
anybody
gonna
want to
just.
see Joe Biden as the final boss?
True. No, this was, while. So let's get into
The
the
negatives.
not so great part, the negatives. I
Number one.
am officially number one, 100% over. Jenna Ortega could just fuck off
I was gonna
at
say
this point.
she was gonna be my number one. It was Jenna Ortega. I
Like
mean, she
I'm
did.
sorry,
Hey,
she's a good actress. I will admit that. Like she does
yeah,
a good job.
She portrayed Velma from the Velma show very well in this movie.
That's the problem is that she's given all these really bad roles now. Like she is a good actress. She was great in the Scream movies. I thought she was really good in the Scream movie
She was serviceable.
that she was in.
Okay,
And like what was the other one?
nothing.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's what it was. Nothing. It was nothing. So I called her Velma from the Velma show because that's exactly the kind of humor that she does in this. Is that she's like talking about one thing, and then she will just randomly throw some like liberal talking, like not even talking point, just like some like spit on something for no reason. Like she's explaining about like the tapestries of the unicorns, right? And how it's like explaining like what happens. And then she all of a sudden's like, she's like, people thought like the unicorns was like a symbol to like of Jesus, which makes sense because the Catholics used art to control the public's mind. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What? That's it got nothing to do with the
Yeah.
conversation right now. What? And she does that like 3 times throughout it. Like she's like researching like the unicorns on her computer or whatever. And Will Poulter comes in. He's like, "Hey, what you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm researching through the tapestries. Like there's information on the unicorns. I know it's kind of misogynist and evil and racist and all them bad things, but you know." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like
Who
it's
asked?" He said, "What are
yeah,
you
she'll
doing?"
just throw she'll just throw out like liberal Mad Libs every once in a
That's
while.
it's a a mad lib, if you will, and it's not okay. It's not even like like shitting on like the talking point, like whatever. It's just like you're bringing this like whiny woke complaint about some general topic that has nothing to do with what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. It's
And I'm like, what are you doing? That's
it's
what
kind
Velma
of, and what's
does.
even worse is
That's what
that
Velma
also the fact
does.
that she had to hit her vape every 5 fucking seconds
Of course. Of course.
in this
It's
movie. Like it's just and they had to like. I love that they didn't. They like amplified the sound of her like pulling on her vape
yeah, so
because
it's
she'll
like
like freaking do that, and then it's like right here in the
it's like
fucking
mad
mic.
crunchy. It's like into, into the, like dude, it's not that loud, okay? Put the jewel
Yeah.
away. Get it out of the booth.
Yeah, it just sucks. Like this is just the character that Hollywood has started casting her as. And here's the thing: is that Jenna Ortega is a pretty good like she is kind of based in a weird way. I like the one where she was talking about I don't want to see Edward Scissorhands as a girl. Like I'd want a new character
Yeah.
with this like I would rather you make a new character for a woman
I
rather than make a male character a woman.
yeah, that's kind of like the best thing she's ever said that I've said. That might be my favorite thing she was ever in, was that interview. But no, like
Well, she was also an X.
it was high.
She was an X. The the Pearl movie, the Pearl
Oh, yeah.
thing, one
Eh,
before that.
eh, eh, eh.
Just saying.
Yeah. I've grown. I think Maxine probably put a bad taste for that trilogy in my mouth.
Fair enough.
I thought Pearl was all right. X was kind of just a lot of boobs and wieners,
True.
and then Maxine was hating the
Yeah.
father.
No, she's just typecast as miserable bitch in
Kind
everything
of,
she's in now.
because and that's really sad because she seems like a nice person in real life.
She is. She really is. Every single interview I've ever seen that
Stop
that she is,
casting her as a miserable bitch. Then
she's a really like very positive and upbeat person, and they just cast her as fucking little black rain cloud.
yeah.
This
All right. Well, I'm sorry to
is
Jenna
annoying.
Ortega that she was in
Also,
this movie. Paul Rudd
yeah.
was in this movie to no effect.
That made me sad. I'm really sad
Didn't
to
do
see how far
anything.
Paul Rudd. I'm really sad to see how far Paul Rudd has fallen.
Isaac,
Like
Isaac, name the highlight of Paul Rudd's role in this movie. What was his best scene?
uh
Exactly. There you go.
him
My point
beating the
exactly.
fuck out of the unicorn with a golf club. I found that really like because he's like talking about how like oh no is this is like he's like oh I accidentally hit it and all that and we need to like
He's like,
do
"Don't
this and
worry,
then
I'll
all of a
take
sudden he
care of this. I'll take care of
and
it,
then he
baby."
comes out he just fucking beats the shit out of it with a fucking
Yeah. Okay. Overall, there was a few jokes that landed pretty well. Some of them were on accident. Uh, but I
and most of them were said by Will Poulter.
yeah, Will Poulter was definitely the strongest part of this movie. I'd only really see it as a Will Poulter fan. Horror,
Ugh.
it's not really scary. The gore doesn't look a whole lot great, but like at least the kills are
Yeah.
like interesting and like brutal in some way. Um,
Oh yeah.
Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd really, it really could have been anyone else in those roles, and they wouldn't have done, any better or worse. It might have been
Yeah.
better
It's
actually.
the other thing is that they yet again put two characters where they're supposed to be like family.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a whole like not necessarily estranged vibe, but like there's a disconnect because like the mom is dead or whatever.
Yeah.
But like even then, I do not believe at any point that these two are actually related. Not just because they don't look like each other. It's just there's no chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah, and even at the end where they're like, "I love you, Dad. I love you, daughter," and it's just like, okay, Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, you said the line.
Yeah.
Good job. But it's like,
Honestly, this movie probably would have been better. Like, this movie probably would have done a lot better as like a low budget indie film
it would have.
rather
It would
than
have. I think so.
like
You
and I know it sounds extremely incredibly hipster of me to say, but
I'm
like
sorry, some things don't need hundreds of millions of dollars and Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega in them. I think Will Poulter's probably the only one that like you can't choose anyone else. Like he was the perfect role. He really, filled it out as much as he could and he had fun with it, which, good on the
yeah.
man. But everyone else just
It
kind of
honest
seemed like they were not having it.
Yeah, everyone else just didn't really seem like they were like that's what I love about Will Poulter. It's the same reason why like I tell people at work that I'm a big Nick Cage fan
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Why?" And like, dude sucks as an actor and I'm like, "But it doesn't even matter if he's good or bad because every role he plays, he puts 100% into it." And that's what Will Poulter does.
No
Will
one
Poulter
No
throws
one,
he dives into his roles.
nobody has ever seen. I think you and I are probably the only people on planet Earth who have seen Prisoners of the Ghostland, and his fucking testicle exploded, and he screamed, "I only have one testicle," out in front of a crowd of people in the middle of a desert, and that's what we're here for. That's what we want. How
Yeah,
many?
like I don't
Let me
think
ask you this: how many Nicolas Cage memes are there? Count all of them.
too many.
Precisely. He's an iconic man, whether he's good at his job or not. He puts 100% into
Yeah,
every
no.
single role, and it's fucking amazing. Anyways,
Plus, Will Poulter's been acting since he was a child
right,
as well.
right.
Like literal child. Like he's really funny as well. So like
Yeah,
I
he's
think
able
they
to play,
allowed
like,
him to do
he's able to play
I think
serious
they gave him a
roles
lot of
and
freedom for this.
funny roles as well. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
great child. He's the best part of the movie. Uh,
he really is.
let's
We've talked enough about this ass movie.
let's move on to the rankings. I'm gonna give this a middle of the row 4. Like I said, the brutality of the kills, Will Poulter and my man Griff were pretty much the only positives in the movie. Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega had no chemistry together as father and daughter. They really didn't make any kind of mark on the movie or anything. Like, they were just really bland, I thought. And as far as the whole unicorn thing goes, not impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also going to give this movie a 4. It fell below expectation. I mean, I wasn't feeling this movie for a while. You literally your only argument that you needed to give me to actually not have you use a Spirited on this movie was but Will Poulter, and I'm like, aight.
There's Will Poulter in it,
I
though.
almost made you use a Spirited on this movie. But he's like, but it's Will Poulter, and I'm like, maybe it'll be funny, and like,
And
you're lucky
hey,
Will Poulter pulled through. You're lucky Will Poulter pulled through.
hey, as we've learned from recent movies in the theaters, but Will Poulter will not always work.
True.
There was one Will Poulter movie in theaters recently that we were just like, no.
Yeah. No.
Anyways, fair enough. Let us move on into our final movie of the night, Hell of a Summer. Isaac, take her away.
Camp counselor Jason Hochberg thinks his biggest problem is feeling out of touch with his teenage coworkers. What he doesn't know is that a mysterious masked killer is lurking on the campgrounds, brutally picking off victims one by one.
Okay. First thing I want to say about this movie, okay, is that main character Jason, the camp counselor, he is both written and acted to perfection. He is that perfect, weird, awkward guy who's trying too nice to be like friendly and like
He's trying too hard to be like accepted.
yeah,
Like
like
he wants to he's trying
he's
to
too happy about everything even though he's a loser.
yeah,
And I
he's
know
trying
people I
too
know
hard.
people like that in real life and they looked at not you they look like the facial expressions he made where he just believes that in his own head that he's on good standing with everybody. You know, even when they tell him to fuck
Yeah.
off, he's like, "All right, you love joke. We love that joke here. Okay, all right, see you around." You know, like it's stuff he's like he doesn't know how awkward and socially weird he is. He's just not aware of that, and I know people like that. And it's very very palpable and realistic with that. So I think
Yeah.
that guy absolutely nailed the assignment, and I think the dialogue that he was given was written
Yeah.
perfectly.
I I am I'm officially giving this guy, this actor, the "We shall watch your career with great interest"
Yeah.
stamp because he has been in 3 movies that I thought were great that we have seen in the past like 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Because he was in Craven, he was in Gladiator 2, and he was in this.
Okay. Well, other people might disagree with all three of those choices, but we had
True.
fun. A
He was
lot of
good in
people
all
did
three
not
of
like
those.
Craven. Gladiator 2 is pretty split on
He
a lot of
was
people
also
dislike.
apparently in all of the Fear Streets.
Was he? I only watched the Fear
Yeah,
Streets once, and that was pretty much enough for me.
and he also was in the Nick Cage movie Butcher's Crossing. Did you ever get to watching
I did
that?
watch that. That was pretty good. Nicolas
Yeah,
Cage
he
was
was in
the
there.
Nicolas Cage was the only memorable character. So even if you name drop the character in the movie, I no wouldn't have gotten it.
Well, he has second billing after Nick Cage,
I
so.
don't remember anybody but Nick Cage.
But nah, he was a really good actor. I I've been saying this. I said it when we left the theater. This movie feels like the two dudes from Snack Shack made a horror movie, made a
Yeah,
slasher.
yeah,
And that is really high praise for me. Cause like it was so much fun from beginning to end.
yeah.
This
Some of the effects weren't great. Some of the jokes weren't funny. Some of the characters were a lot of the characters were annoying. They were really really bad, but they were meant to fit the archetype. They were meant to be annoying.
yeah. Like they were written to be
Yeah, there
annoying.
was the vegan chick, and then there was the empath, and then there was the theater kid, and it's like, wow, you assembled everybody that nobody likes into one movie, and there's a killer amongst them. Oh
See, here's the
no!
thing is that
What a
what like
tragedy!
Finn Wolfhard, I feel like he understands that and he wrote those characters specifically to be that way.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta give
Like
him props for that.
he's a really funny kid. Like he actually is. People give him a lot of shit cuz like he
He was a
got
Stranger
big
Things.
off like Stranger Things and all that. And like I'm not a big Stranger Things guy.
And he was in
I'm
that
not. I
one
never
movie that was
understood
bad. I don't remember what it was called. He was in
that
some
one
movie and it
movie.
was terrible. Y'all gonna make me look it up. Fuck you, man. Come on.
The Turning.
I think so. I'm gonna think of
Is
that.
that what it is?
Yeah, The Turning. I watched that and I'm like, can something happen? It's so bad. It's so bad. I feel sorry for him. Uh, for being
There's the
in
one
that
where they
movie.
like adopt a kid and he's one of the other kids that they did,
I
right? Or
don't even
something.
remember what happened in it. I watched it at work, and I'm just like, can something happen? It's so bad. Nothing's happening. It was so much nothing. And anyways, this was obviously not something that was like big Hollywood executives like planned out. It was I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line Finn Wolfhard said like I want to make a slasher movie, and then some people Neon will give money to anybody, just look at Babes. So so they were just like, "Hey, we'll help you do that." And then he just
Oh,
got free, he and his friend got free reign to do whatever the fuck they wanted, and I think it was a fun little romp. It takes place at camp, and it's fitting because there's so much camp in this movie. Like
yeah.
they have all the archetypes that you need. Each character is absolutely one dimensional, but that's fine because the characters just axe fodder for the serial killer. And some of the kills were really good. One of the first ones, the in the movie, in the opening scene, the cold open. There's I honestly I think that's the best kill in the movie, is the second one in the cold open, where
Hmm.
the owner one of the owners of the camp, the lady, is like running away from the killer, trying to get into her car, whatever. She gets in and then just like leans back in her seat, like in the car, and then just like stares dead ahead, like in terror, in shock. And then it cuts to looking out the windshield, and there's nothing there. And it cuts back to her like gasping in horror, and it cuts back to the windshield, and there's still nothing there. And I'm like, what go? And then her head falls forward, and then you see in the head of the seat there's a knife sticking through the back, so they
Yeah.
plunged it through. And then
I
when she
like
got in, she slammed her own head into the knife. And I'm like,
or like
that was
either
so good.
yeah.
or
The
or, or
kills
they
in this movie
or they
were
jammed it
oh
right
yeah.
in there, because I didn't even
I
notice it
like
at first. I wasn't paying full attention because like she
yeah.
just what I didn't notice if it was already there or if they stuck it in after she sat down. But either way, that was a fantastic reveal, best kill of the movie for sure.
It was. I really like the mask, like the devil mask they use for the killer. It had like just the right amount of like when it comes out of the shadows.
Oh
And so like he's wearing like a black suit, so it's like just the mask that you see.
yeah, that was
And
good.
like it has the smile and everything. Like it's perfect iconic like slasher mask imagery.
It's
And
simple. It's
he did a
simple but
very good job.
effective.
Exactly,
It's
like Ghostface.
Yeah. Well,
Like
okay. So
Ghostface isn't scary.
Ghostface is iconic.
Like
Like you start thinking Ghostface, Jason, like their masks are iconic. This one's not going to be iconic in any way, shape, or form.
no,
It's a
it's not going to
super.
be
It's a
iconic, but I
super.
mean it's
It's a super generic dollar store demon mask, but it's
yeah,
effective in being as simple as it is.
exactly. I also have to say he's like Finn Wolfhard is really really fucking funny because I fucking love the scene because they have the one character who's
Oh,
like, "Oh, you want to read my screenplay and everything?" He's like, and like he's that dude where he's like deathly afraid of peanuts because he has a peanut allergy, and
no! What did
fucking
he?
I
Sorry, I
love
don't mean to
this scene.
interrupt you, but yes, I do. What did he fucking say? And when he was showing his screenplay, it was something about like it's about this Jewish kid from the Holocaust and surviving that, which I can relate to because my peanut allergy, it gives me a similar kind of s-
Yeah,
stress, and I'm
let's
like, what the
struggle and all
fuck?
that. And I'm like, yeah, but I love the moment where like this dude's death scene is so funny. First of all, he does die off screen, but like the guy has him tied up in a fucking chair, and he's holding a knife to his head, like to his like. I think at one point he holds it to his throat, and he's freaking out, understandably, but like. Then the guy walks away to a jar of peanut butter that's just sitting on the counter, and he just opens it up, and as he's doing it, the guy is looking at him like he's slowly loading a gun.
Yeah.
like he's freaking out. Like the guy dips the knife in the peanut butter, and then the last thing we see is him walk towards the guy, and he's sitting there like, oh, oh. He's like
Regular
freaking
knife
the
to your
fuck
throat.
out.
He's like, peanut butter knife to your throat. He's like,
He's like, no. Like it was so funny. I loved it so much. I also really liked the co-creator of this movie. I keep saying just Finn Wolfhard. Billy Brick, I think is his name is. He's really funny too.
He is really funny.
He played his
as well.
He was great. Also he was valid. Like almost every fucking thing he did, he was validated in. Like when he went to go jump over the fire, and they're like he's like getting all hyped up and psyched for it, and then that one dude is just like, "Do it, pussy." He's like, "You just call me a pussy? Nah, fuck you." Like he's absolutely in the right there. Like he's like, "I'm sitting here gonna risk my my life for your entertainment, and you're gonna call me a pussy? Nah, fuck you. You don't get to see this." Like I'm not gonna do it. Like it's billed in the movie, like it's billed in the movie as like an out for him.
Yeah, he was.
But
like,
he's
looking for a
100%
way out 'cause he
justified.
didn't wanna do that. But I get it. Like,
But he was also actively psyching himself up. Like he was gonna do it, and then the guy did it, and then the guy called him a pussy, and he's just like, "Nah, fuck you." Like valid crash out, in my opinion. Yeah, you ruined it.
let's move on into the rankings here. Plug this one in. I'll let you go first.
Oh, sure. We're already here. I'm gonna give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie a heck of a lot. This was a lot of fun. I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to more stuff that Finn Wolfhard might be acting and directing in the future.
Mm-hmm. I'm also gonna give this a 7 out of 10. You can absolutely tell that these guys had fun just making their own movie. A lot of the kills were actually surprisingly competent. I think the killer was, impactful where it needed to be. A lot of the teenage kids were written very, very well. The main character written the best, obviously, and I think I think the comedy is one of the movie's strong points. It was very, very well written, and that actually got me laughing quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely put Fred Hetchinger is his name. Put him in the list. He's the guy who played the main character. I am going to be watching this man's career with great interest. He has been doing a very good job in almost everything I've seen him in. So
cool. All right.
Also, interesting thing about this movie, real quick. I apologize to do this. This movie has actually existed since 2023.
Really?
It premiered at the Toronto Film Festival in 2023. Well, no, but it's been finished as a movie since 2023. Neon did not acquire the rights to it till like late last year. And that's why it was that's when it was slated for this April release.
Oh, that must be
like
how,
that
the distributing ones work, where it's just like, oh, it premiered at a film festival a year ago. So at the film festival, they probably have like representatives and to be like, hey, I'm from Neon, we'd like to, promote and distribute your movie. And they're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, it says in August 2024. Neon acquired the distribution rights. The movie premiered in September of 2023, so almost a full year after he made this movie.
So it didn't premiere in the summer, and it didn't come out in theaters in the summer. but it's called A Hell of a Summer and takes place in summer.
Yes.
And they bought it in the winter.
Yes.
Interesting. That
I
doesn't make any
think
sense.
I think I actually I think it does in my opinion because I think what they're going for here, it comes out in theaters in
DVD
April. Get
release
a little
or
buzz going.
streaming
Get a
release
little
on
buzz going. A
summer?
streaming release in the summer.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's I think that's smart.
Maybe. All right. That should wrap us up here. Don't worry, we'll be back with plenty more. We have
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. We have a lot more movies stuck on our backfill that we need to crank out before we start getting into new stuff. So please be sure to subscribe because we really need it now more than ever. Mr. Isaac, would you like to give us a little look at what we'll be seeing next time?
So next time we will have full Merrick podcast. Mo is gonna be here. He will be joining us for the new Angel Studios movie, King of Kings, Story of Jesus. Will
Nazareth?
Poulter again of Nazareth, Jesus of Nazareth. Uh, then we will have the movie Warfare. Will Poulter again, great great actor.
Wait, not only Will Poulter,
back at it again. Not only Will Poulter,
but
we got Joseph Quinn too, right?
No, dude, the Mike from Hell of a Summer is also.
Oh yeah,
in
Mike from
Warfare.
Hell of a Summer was also in yes, true.
So two
very
actors,
radically
two
different
actors
movies
from two different movies we covered in this podcast are gonna come together for a movie next podcast. That's crazy. And then the last one.
There you go. We'll have the new Rami Malek movie, The Amateur. I really like Rami Malek. I've been a fan of him ever since Night at the Museum. Like he's a good actor, and
I've been a big fan of him ever since Until Dawn, and then I looked into everything else and I said, "Oh, he was in Night at the Museum. I didn't know that." And then that's
interesting.
And then that's when he was good at that too. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe because it keeps us going back to the theaters and bringing these videos back here to you. Also, be sure to check out our Letterboxd accounts on screen now. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
Roll credits. Feels good to say it again.
Yes, sir.